Welcome to the Addicted to DVC podcast, a deep dive into all things Disney Vacation Club. We share tips, tricks, and insider info, helping you make the most of your membership. Join us for the latest news, reviews, and interviews with DVC experts and enthusiasts. Whether you're a seasoned DVC member or considering your first contract, this podcast is for you. Now, here are your hosts, Mike Hurley and Gary Arruda.
Welcome to the Addicted to DVC podcast with Mike and Gary. This is episode 42, recorded in the D. Fauntleroy Recording Studios in Sarasota, Florida. In Cranston, Rhode Island, I'm your host, Mike in Florida, joined by my cousin and co-host, Gary, up in Rhode Island. Good evening, Gary.
What's going on?
Not too much.
How you doing this fine?
I'm doing great. This is back-to-back days of us recording pods. We don't normally do this, but I've got a big trip scheduled.
Yeah, so that's coming up this weekend.
Yeah.
Or you're going up on Sunday. That's your normal move, right? You go on Sunday.
Yeah, because then you get the weekday rates.
Right.
Sunday's considered weekday. So this episode will be coming out on our checkout day at Riviera.
Okay, so you're there for Sunday night, Monday night, Tuesday night.
That is correct.
At Riviera in a studio, I assume, right?
Yeah, that's not correct.
Oh, that is incorrect.
That's incorrect.
Finally taking that step up.
Yes, sir. I got to zoom in here. I'm too good looking to be zooming out. Wouldn't you agree?
I agree with that.
Let me change my lighting too.
This is gonna mess you up, isn't it?
What, staying in a one bedroom?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course it is.
Because there's really no reason for you to stay in a one bedroom.
There's really no reason, but there's so many reasons. Does that make any sense?
Not really, but we can talk about it. Are you excited for a one bedroom?
I am.
It's pretty good.
I am. I looked at the weather.
Mm-hmm.
It's not supposed to be good, Pards.
Oh, really?
No, it's supposed to rain.
Like the whole time?
Yeah, it's like almost like 60% the entire time.
That's strange. That's not normally like
it's
rainy
not
season.
normal. No, we don't do like the April showers bring May flowers crap down here.
Well, you might end up spending a lot of time in that one bedroom.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, how many points is it for a one bedroom in May? Because May is one of the slower calendar points.
Yeah,
right?
it's 34 a night.
That's decent amount. Considering last week we were talking about doing studios for 14, so 34 is a good chunk of points.
Yeah, and in September it's 29. That's very doable, isn't it?
I'm not saying it's not.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's not a good value. It's just they add up quick.
102 points for 3 nights.
It adds up quick. But that's why you bought this contract.
That is the main reason. The main reason was it allowed us to do one bedrooms at the Grand Floridian and one bedrooms now at Riviera.
What appeals to you most about a one bedroom, having not stayed in one yet?
Well, we did. Remember, we got the upgrade on my first stay.
Well, but I'm saying like with Susie for an extended period, you haven't stayed in.
You know, she had always mentioned how a one bedroom would be great because she typically likes to go to bed earlier, so she can just go to bed and close the door, and I can stay up. I usually will go from sitting on the balcony for 45 minutes to coming back in and listening to the in-room TV, and then going back out to the balcony.
So now you're not going to bother her as much.
No, she can go in there. She can read. She can go put a show on, and then I have the living area.
You got the couch. You got the TV.
I got the couch. You got the TV. Riviera has that bigger couch too. I think I'm hoping the Grand Floridian, when they do their hard refurb in a few years, will go to that because they basically just have the pull down.
Yeah.
And then they've got like a chair next to it, which is worthless. And then they have a table next to it, which is okay. But I'd rather have that longer couch. I don't know if you've probably seen the one bedroom.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about. So
it's a longer and extended.
There's still like a seat left.
On both sides.
Yeah.
There's a seat on both sides, correct. So
I get you.
It's a bigger couch. I'll tell you the other thing that is huge. I'm going to like having a king bed.
That's nice.
It's all what
you're used to.
Yeah. Would you have a queen?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the king is just, you just roll around and you're not bumping into each other.
You have a tub?
You have the whirlpool. tub,
It's nice.
which she said she's going to use. Have
I
a
mean,
huge
obviously the kitchen
walk-in
and the
shower.
laundry. You're
Yep.
probably not gonna use the laundry, but you will most likely use the kitchen.
We probably not, but maybe we'll look into it, maybe because then it'll just save her time. For only 3 days, it's just easy to throw everything back into the suitcase and
Right.
throw it in your trunk and drive back down here. But um,
Doesn't hurt to have it. Even just
no,
throwing your, like, bathing suit in the dryer if you want, just
yeah,
so you don't have
exactly.
to hang it up.
Sure, yeah, yep.
That's a nice feature.
Yeah, having the kitchen, I think, is nice. Yeah, like you said, it's not necessary, but it's nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's kind of, an SUV. I never thought I'd want an SUV. I always liked the small compact cars. Because let's face it, all a car is to get you from point A to point B. But
Right.
an SUV is like a one bedroom. It just gives
That's
you a
true.
little bit more space.
Yeah, it gives you some playing around room that you didn't think you needed, but you find a way to use it.
I mean, you're in the same boat. You're gonna. You were always a value guy
Yeah,
for a while, and then you had that first stay Animal Kingdom Lodge, and it changed you. A year later, you bought a contract.
that's true.
And a year after that, you bought your second contract. So that one stay at a deluxe completely changed your outlook.
Yeah.
And now once you start meddling around with those 1 and 2 bedrooms, you're not going back to studios, not with those 2 yo-yos,
No, you're right.
kids that you have. The older they get, the worse it's gonna be to have a studio. I mean, you got one that's basically a teenager.
Yeah, well, that's true. Yeah, I mean, I think it's not a good value, though. I mean, there's good amenities,
Mhm.
but it's almost double the points or basically double the points, and you don't get any capacity increase. So the
Got
one bedrooms are usually the last to fill up for DVC, right? Those are the least desirable rooms
yeah,
from
you
what
might
I've
be
heard
right. Yeah, you
in
might be
general,
right.
but that doesn't mean they're not still useful or
But
desirable.
if you can fit a family in a one bedroom, wouldn't you rather save 10 or 15 points each night?
Well, that a 2, yes, of course.
Yeah. So,
I'm just thinking as, like, a point miser. If you're a point miser,
if you're a point, don't listen to the show if you're a point. There's other shows to listen to. We're gonna end up bankrupting you. We're gonna have you taking out second, third, and fourth mortgages on your houses.
we'll probably be advising you to take out that new 15-year loan to finance your
Oh, that we
DVC.
saw from Disney Vacation Club.
Yeah.
Yes. It's all about the small payment part. It's not about how much this is gonna cost you at the end of 15 years.
Yeah, finance
Look,
a 22-year vacation rental for 15 years at 11% interest. That's a sound investment. As long as you can start staying in 1 and 2 bedrooms, that's a good move.
that's how they sell it. There's nothing wrong if you're gonna take out a
Yeah.
loan with the intention of paying it off. But a lot of people, they're gonna do that 15, 20-year loan.
It's crazy. I mean, that's another topic
That's
for
another
another day we could
10
talk
topics.
about.
I couldn't believe when I saw them come out with that, but hey, if we're not selling hey, what do we have to do? What do we
Yeah.
have to do to put you into this car right now?
Well, I shouldn't say that because car loans are now like 8 years and you don't even own a car for that long. So, I guess it's the
Yep.
same thing.
Yep.
Anyway, so obviously we're talking a lot about one bedrooms
Yeah.
with your first day coming up and
Yeah.
you had an idea to talk about what types of things are you going to bring with you because you're
Yeah.
staying in a one bedroom that you normally wouldn't for a studio.
Pards,
Specific I mean,
if
there's a
we
lot
can
of things,
really
but you're talking like specifically like food and kitchen stuff, right?
correct. I mean, this could be a whole new Excel spreadsheet. If we can start
Oh.
showing the mass savings that you're gonna have by not going out to eat, does this warrant another contract? Or does this just warrant putting more money back into the bank to replenish that, Riviera contract?
I mean,
The
I
smart thing is the latter, right?
yeah, of course.
But the Mike and
However,
Gary thought is buy another contract.
Because the beautiful thing is you talk about how much money you save, and then when you're there, you still go out to eat.
Of course.
Like, you're gonna go to Publix and spend $100 on groceries, and then
Oh,
you're gonna
more
bring
than
them
that.
all back with you.
No,
Because you're
I don't think so. I don't think
because
so.
you're gonna go to Primo Piatto 3 times a day and Topolino's at night.
I'm gonna try to be really disciplined.
Well, we'll see how that goes. I guess we'll get a trip review at some point and see
We
how
will
that.
have the trip review, absolutely.
Now, I think breakfast in the room, especially for, like, you and
Absolutely.
Susie, who like to go a little later to the parks, although you're turning into rope drop
Yeah,
people, aren't you?
we're gonna be definitely rope dropping. Get up
So
early, have a breakfast, have some coffee, watch the sun come up, and then run over the parks, get them done. It's a chore. That's the way I look at the parks now. They're chores.
yeah.
Get the chores done. You know, kids, wouldn't you just get the homework done and then we can goof off the rest of the weekend? Let's not put it off until Sunday night.
Yeah, that's
That's
true.
what you do with your chores. Get the chores done.
Now, are you gonna be like Uncle Joe up at, like, 4:30 banging pots and pans around making omelets while
No, I'm
Susie's
not gonna be
sleeping?
that bad. No, I will not be that bad. I can read the audience, but we'll probably be up 6, 6:30, maybe 7, whatever, but just
Making a quick omelet or something?
yeah, we're thinking about bringing eggs,
You gotta bring eggs.
maybe some bagels, cream cheese, and butter.
Yeah, those are quick and easy. There's a
Nice
toaster in
little
there.
filler. Certainly some fruits.
That's a good idea,
Maybe
yeah.
bring our yogurt up. Do you do fruit and yogurt, or is that not your thing?
Not my thing. I don't like fruit in the morning. I like fruit, but not for breakfast.
Yeah, I'll do it a little later. I'll do, like, my protein first. Like, a
Yeah,
lot of times on a Sunday, I'll do an omelet, and I haven't been drinking coffee, I've been drinking, tea. So I'll just have my omelet with tea, and then maybe about an hour later, I'll just do some strawberries with yogurt.
that's not bad. I think, like, an omelet, just a cheese omelet or, like, ham and cheese omelet's the easiest thing. It takes about 4 minutes to make because you could heat up a pan and get some eggs cooked super quick.
Yeah, oh, no doubt, yeah.
Like, you could have 2 omelets banged out before the
Yep.
time the water even boils for the tea,
Yeah,
which is great because you could do that. You get ready, Susie's getting ready, you make a couple omelets, make your teas, and you're ready to rock.
exactly.
Sit at the counter. Like, that's perfect. A dozen eggs, that'll last you
Oh, yeah.
all 3 mornings, I would think, if you
I'll
do
tell
eggs
you
every
too.
day.
I'll t People are talking about egg prices. So I did a split run. I had to I got gas. I had to fill up Kristen's car at, Costco. So I'm like, "Ah, let
Mhm.
me get a few things because all the snowbirds are gone." I ran in there when they had the egg shortage of 2
Yeah.
months ago. What were they killing birds because there was, like, the flu of the bird flu
Yeah,
or whatever?
something like that, yeah.
So Costco has a room that's just basically full of eggs and milk. They didn't have eggs, so I had to stop by an eggs. So I went in there, they had an 18 pack of eggs. It was
Yeah,
$4.50. I took a picture of the price, I bought them, and then I had to run to Publix on my way home. The same 18 pack of eggs up there was $7.35,
oh, wow.
almost $3 more than they are at Costco. I see Costco's buying bulk, but, if I had to buy 36 or 50, okay, point per ounce or whatever, but 18 at Costco and 18 at Publix, and it was like $3 difference.
That's
Crazy,
crazy.
crazy. But yeah, bring some eggs, fruits.
I mean,
Don't know if I'm gonna bring cereal.
yeah, you don't strike me as a cereal guy.
I actually am once I get into it.
Okay.
Like, I'll forget how much I like honey nut cherry or honey oats Cheerios, whatever,
Yeah.
or apple cinnamon Cheerios, and then I'll go 5 or 6 days eating it. And then once it runs out or whatever, I totally forget and I won't eat
Mhm.
cereal for another 2 months. I'm kinda weird like that. I'm certainly not, Jerry Seinfeld when it comes to cereal.
Well, because you're probably not even gonna bring a gallon of milk with you, right? Because you guys aren't milk drinkers.
No, we just use it for our coffees, but we can just get the creamers all at Primo Piatto, so
Right. I mean, breakfast is key. You could always get, even with the full-size freezer, you could get those, like, Uncrustable things. Remember you said you ate those one time at the golf course or something? The little
no.
frozen, like, peanut butter and jelly sandwich thing?
That's what I usually just make. I'll just make some peanut butter sandwiches and wrap them in tinfoil and throw them in my,
Yeah.
my little cooler bag on my push cart.
You guys aren't snackers though, really.
No.
Like, see, I'm a big snacker. I like to eat junk like cookies or chips, especially on vacation. If I'm just sitting around watching TV in the room or something, I want to make something. Like the girls like microwave popcorn. They always buy the microwave popcorn and make that in the room, which is great. That's a great snack because you could buy like an 8-pack of the
And
microwave
it's not
popcorn for
terrible
like
because she'll
$4.
bring them home. She'll
Yeah.
bring a bag home from work once in a while and just pop it. And the calorie-wise, it isn't bad. My problem with snacks, and the reason why I don't buy them is because I eat them.
Yeah. Well,
I love potato chips, and if
yeah,
they're
that's
in
my
the house,
weakness.
I eat potato chips, so that's my problem. And there's nothing wrong with potato chips. I'll snack them on 'em on
No, I get
vacation.
what you're saying.
You
They
know,
could get
Costco's
dangerous.
running a deal, and I got 4 bags. That stuff's gone in that
Yeah.
same week, probably. It's awful.
Yeah, that's not good. I'm the same way. What I mean, are you gonna make dinner? You gonna do like a pasta and meatballs or
You
something?
know, she talked about doing a pasta. Hear me out now.
Mhm.
We both love chicken salad. So when we came back from our walk with Rhodey this evening, had to fire up a YouTube and this is the one that has grapes and this isn't some of these foodies, they just try to be so just simple it down. It's a simple chicken salad. You don't have to overthink a simplistic dish like that.
Mhm.
So we found this guy who either worked at a deli, but he made a lot of deli items on his YouTube channel. He made a chicken salad. It's exactly the way I would like it. It's just got some onions, some celery, and then all the different spices. And it is so simple. And I'm like, that is the perfect sandwich because we both like chicken salad sandwiches. I think one of the best ones is actually Wawa. I don't know if you guys have Wawas
No, I
up
think they
your way.
start in like Philly.
Okay, so the Wawa chicken salad sandwiches to die for. Get one of those like little Hamburg buns, like the
Yeah,
ones that what do they have? What do they call those things on top?
like the the sesame seeds.
Yeah, yeah, like
Yeah.
those you can get those soft rolls at Publix.
Mhm.
Do that, put like a slice of tomato and a little bit of lettuce. Pack those up, bring them down to the pool.
Yeah,
Saving
nothing
30
wrong with that.
bucks.
You know what I found is really good for doing chicken salad is I'll buy a rotisserie chicken and then I'll just pick it apart and cut it up. So I'm not even cooking the chicken. I just buy a rotisserie chicken.
And how is it?
It's good.
Because that's funny because it's a skin on because the first video we watched, the lady said that you want the skin on um, chicken breasts. Said because that's gonna give you the flavor. So then she said to cook it,
Yeah.
and when you cut it out, just take the skin off. But she said the skin gives it actually all the flavor. So probably similar to your rotisserie chicken.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like rotisserie chickens are great, and then I don't put the skin in the chicken salad, but
Sure,
I
you
just
just take
cut
the
it up.
meat, you just cut up the meat.
Yeah, just cut it up into small chunks, add the mayonnaise and whatever seasonings, and, like, if I have
Okay.
celery I'll
And then
actually instead of doing, like, celery, I'll cut up pickles and put it in
yeah,
there.
do whatever you want. You can improvise
Yeah.
whatever you like. Now, do you also let it sit for a day, or do you
It's best if you can, yeah.
absolutely, yeah, let it just marinate?
Yeah, because it 'cause soaks up that mayonnaise and everything becomes, like, one flavor, which is how you want it. But, yeah, that's easy. You could pre-make it, bring the chicken salad already made with you and just throw it in the
That's what I'm
fridge.
saying. Yeah, yep, yep.
Yeah. 'Cause you have a huge advantage of driving up. You can bring stuff that's already at the house. You don't even have to make a special trip necessarily.
Exactly, yeah, we could get everything pre-made. We could do all this stuff Friday or Saturday,
'Cause
and
you
then
could
just
even
throw it up
do
the cooler.
'cause you could even do, like, pre-made coleslaw and potato salad and, like, make hamburgers in the room or something.
Yes, you certainly can, and you use the grills over at the Grand Floridian because they still have, grills over on that property
Right,
as
if
the
you're staying at the
Polynesian.
Grand, of course,
Yeah,
yeah. A
yep.
few of them have the grills.
Because every once in a while, you're just so lazy and you do, "Oh, you know what? We're gonna do burgers. Let's get potato salad." It's like 10.95 a pound. I buy a bag of potatoes at Costco for like $5, and half of
Yeah,
them
but
I'm gonna
there's
throw
something to be
away.
said about the pre-made and not going
I
through
ag
the hassle.
I agree 100%, but then when you're like, "Why am I spending $700 a month on groceries?" Well,
Yeah,
that's
well, that's part of the reason probably.
mm,
I also like the move of, like, making a fancy dinner while you're there. Getting, like,
you're saying doing
some
like some
swordfish or something, doing some
steak and
seared swordfish
asparagus.
with asparagus, yeah.
Do
But
like
on
or even like a filet mignon with béarnaise sauce.
yeah,
I
something
haven't
like
had a
that.
filet in like 10 years, but that's a perfect in your one bedroom at Riviera, isn't it?
Yeah, roast some potatoes in
Asparagus,
the oven, make the
yeah.
filet, a little asparagus, Brussels sprouts, something like that. Bring a bottle of wine with you. Susie can have some wine while you're cooking or whatever. Have a movie on the TV or some golf, whatever's on. Well, it's not gonna be golf because you're
Not
gonna be
gonna be
going to work.
golf, or you just play the, Riviera background.
Yeah, well, that's fine too.
I watch that on a loop. I don't know how you can watch this. And then we come back from our trip, and she's, like,
You're watching
sleeping,
on
sitting
YouTube.
on it.
Yeah.
"You got problem." I'm like, "Here." "Yeah, I know." On YouTube.
So I would say one thing which doesn't have to be a one bedroom, and I think it's a good tip for people if they're bringing stuff or if they're making a run. Um, and I kind of took this from you. Obviously, one of the things that everyone thinks about is getting like bottled water, right? Cases of water to
Yeah.
bring on their
Yeah.
trip. Now, one thing we did last year, and it was a little bit of a waste because we didn't use it all and we didn't bring it home with us, but you get the powdered Gatorade because you could just add it to your bottles of water. So you already so you don't have to buy separate
Oh,
Gatorade, just buy the powdered stuff.
I've been buying the powder for years.
Right, but I'm saying even on your trip, even if you end up throwing half the jug away, it's still worth it because it's only like 8 or 10 bucks.
Oh, well, what I do is I'll bring it up there, and then I have my 32-ounce Yeti,
Right.
and then I'll throw that in, go down to the quick service, fill it with water, and I'm good to go.
Well, yeah, or you just put it if you have water bottles, you could just add it to the bottle of water, shake it
Yeah,
up, and
no,
you're good
those
to
are the
go.
best. That saves me so much money.
Instead of buying a separate thing of
Yep,
like a 12 pack of Gatorades and then your case of water, just buy the water and get the powder. It's still cheaper even if you waste some of the powder and don't bring it home.
yep, that's definitely the powder's the way to go. The other thing is I only drink soda when I'm up at Disney. I still think buying cans are better because I don't wanna have to bring home half a 2-liter,
Yeah, true.
and it's more expensive, but you still get, $5 for a 12 pack.
Yeah.
And a lot of times Costco, Publix will have a BOGO.
Now I'm thinking like with kids, if I'm staying in a one bedroom, some of the easy things, get some like frozen French fries, frozen chicken nuggets, even like
Yeah.
frozen Eggo waffles, throw them in the toaster oven in the morning. Trying to do quick stuff where you don't
Yeah.
have to go out and get lunch at the quick serve. They're gonna get chicken nuggets at the quick serve anyway. You might as well just make
Yeah,
them in the
no
room.
doubt, yeah. Yep.
You buy a whole 3-pound bag of
You
chicken
buy that
nuggets for
ba
$8.
it's gonna last the entire week, and if you really
Yeah,
wanted to get fancy, you could get some dipping sauces.
of course. You go down to the quick serve and get some
Well,
dipping sauces to bring
yeah,
them
if they
back.
have them down there, I don't do they leave those out?
The little packets, yeah, I think so.
Okay.
If not, yeah, you buy a thing for $3 of the barbecue sauce or whatever you like.
But you throw it away if you're not using it, right? You wouldn't leave it outside room
No, I'd leave it out
3205,
and post it on Facebook for Ken
would you?
Cabot. Yeah,
Ken Cabot, you think he wants
partially
that?
used honey mustard.
He made me drive up and get the breast milk. I have no idea what the heck he was gonna do
He's
with
just
that,
sitting in
but
your freezer. Yeah.
yeah, he IM'd me and just said, "Hey, can you run up there and see if it's still available?" I'm like, "Yes, I know what you're gonna use it for, but sure."
What are other good things? Like, I think going fancy and cooking for yourself. You like to cook, I like to cook, so that's
Yeah.
kind of a fun thing to do. You do like
Especially
a
because 'cause
chick
we've never done it there. It's gonna be such a new experience, don't you think?
Yeah, like, it was great when we stayed at the tree
It
house and we
it
had
was
the
brilliant, wasn't
Sunday
it? We went
dinner.
off and
Yeah,
played golf, and she started to gr by the time we came home, it smelled like Christmas, didn't it? You had
yeah.
cookies and gravy going. You're like, "Oh, this is perfect."
Right, it was great. Throw some garlic bread in the oven.
Oh, did we do garlic bread?
I don't know, but that's a great thing to just
That
grab a
is a
loaf of
great play.
garlic bread, throw it in the oven, the whole place is gonna smell gorgeous.
Yeah, what somebody's gonna have that adjoining studio and be like, "What is going on next door?"
Yeah, I want like, how much does the smell stick around? Like, how good are those range hoods at the Disney
I'm
one
sure they're
bedroom?
fine. I'm sure they're fine.
Like, if you're really firing up your cast iron and, like, tearing off some steaks, is your whole one bedroom
I
gonna
don't think I'm gonna bring anything up, though.
I mean, that's another thing you could do. You could bring your own cooking stuff.
I could, but do I wanna bring my cast iron is a good play.
Probably not, but you could. Like, that's something I could see if I did an owner's locker, I could put, a cast iron
Yeah,
skillet in there.
yep, exactly, yes.
You do that Gatorade powder, a cast iron
Yep,
skillet, bottle
yep.
of bourbon or something like
They
that.
still have
Yeah,
not done they don't have an affiliate program. I'm dying to get them on the show, but
yeah.
we need some scratch air parts.
Yeah, well, that's your end. You're the business guy.
I am the business
I'm
guy.
just the looks and the talent. You're the business guy.
Yeah, that's true. I have no talent and no looks.
Yeah.
I don't know if how good my business savvy is, but at least
Well, you
you
gotta have
give me a
something.
little bit of credit here. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know what she wants to do
What's
is do,
that?
like, steak sandwiches. That's a quick and easy.
That's perfect.
Yep.
You just throw it in the skillet, you get the shaved steak. You
Yes.
don't need a lot, you just a little garlic powder, a little salt, pepper,
Why'd you
you're good
turn
to
me
go.
on to that when you were here? It was when you brought the kids.
Yeah, we made the steak
That's right.
sandwiches
You
for you
did
guys.
you went into when we were at Publix and we got, like, a couple pounds of shaved ribeye.
Yeah, they shaved it for us there.
That was so good, wasn't it?
It was really good, yeah.
Oh my god.
There's nothing better than a fresh shaved steak. You
No.
know what the key ingredient is for a shaved steak sandwich? Is a
What?
little bit of Worcestershire sauce on
Yeah, I
there.
remember you put a little bit of Worcestershire. That was so much better, and I do them probably every couple weeks if I
Yeah,
think about it, and, I just get this because so much cheaper than doing steaks. I'll get some mushrooms, cut up
right.
some mushrooms, and just throw those in to the skillet when the steak's just about done. You turn it
Yeah,
once, and then you're like, "Alright, throw the mushrooms in." They're so much better than steak sandwiches that you get at Greasy Spoons. As much as I
yes.
like those, oh, these are good, aren't they? The homemade
Mhm.
on it, like you said, on a nice fresh bun.
You
Throw it
throw
in the oven just for a little just to crunch it up, but you don't want it to be too crunchy.
Yeah, you get the bread crunchy, you get
Couple
the
minutes.
cheese melty.
Yep.
Yeah, it's perfect. And then you could do whatever you want. You could do peppers, onions, mushrooms, whatever you want on the side.
Yes. Oh, you know
That's
what
not a
else
bad
would be a
plan.
good play?
What's that?
Is to do a taco bar.
Ooh,
Like, that would
tacos,
be
yeah.
perfect if we combined families and we got a two-bedroom or we split and did the tree houses again sometime because that's happening.
Yeah, and
For
plus
those
that's
low points,
super
yeah,
easy to make. You
you could
only
just
need, like, 2 pans for it.
yep, just a taco bar, just have a million toppings sitting out on the counter, perfect.
Yeah, you buy a thing of sour cream, a thing of salsa, some cheese. All you need is a couple pounds of ground meat. You get the taco shells. It's all easy. Nothing to it. Instant rice, no problem.
Yeah, some nice yeah, what kind of rice what's a good rice that you have with tacos?
I get the Goya yellow rice.
Okay, yeah, that's solid.
That's what I always go with. We actually had that tonight, as a matter of fact.
What'd you do, tacos for Cinco de Mayo?
Yeah, the girls wanted it, so I made tacos.
Do you do
Yeah, I don't
turkey or ground,
I
beef?
always do turkey because I don't have
Yeah,
to drain it. It's
that's
so
so
much
much better.
easier.
I think it has a better taste and it's
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, deli sandwiches, so easy. Just throw the lunch meats in the fridge
they
and
are,
bring
but they've gotten to be cost prohibitive now.
it's still cheaper than getting a sandwich at the
Oh,
quick
no
serve,
doubt.
though.
Yes, yeah, yeah. You know
Especially
what
if
she
you don't
said?
mind having it a couple days in a row. You get a pound of turkey, some cheese, and some bread, and you're good to go for a
Yeah,
couple days.
yeah.
Because you could bring that stuff, like, on the bus with you when you're going to the park, like, throw it
Yeah,
in the
you could.
backpack.
You seriously could. Yeah, you could throw some in the backpack, and as you're going over to Animal Kingdom, that
Yeah. I mean,
45-minute drive.
I'm not a bring my food to the parks guy. I know a lot of people do, and it saves you a ton of money.
That guy who brought a suitcase on
He had, like, Tupperware containers of,
that
like
was the best thing ever. We walked by that when we were 2 weeks ago, and
yeah.
this was the spot. I mean, Susie. Yep, this is it where it was.
Well, because he tried to get on the ride. He tried to get on
I did a
Everest with the
single rider, and
suitcase.
he tried to do it. He tried to
Yeah.
put his suitcase on, and they're like, "No, no, no, no. This is for this guy. This isn't for
Yeah.
your suitcase. What am I supposed to do with my suitcase?" And I'm thinking, this guy's got some. He snuck something in here. I think this was even before they had high security.
Yeah.
And remember, we got off the ride. And we're like, what is this guy doing?
And then he was sitting down, like, in front of the bathroom in between, like, Everest
Yes,
and the Africa section, and he's just sitting there with, like, a full buffet of food, like, he had,
food.
like, rice and chicken and pita pockets and
It
all
was the
sorts
most amazing thing I've never seen something so ridiculous in my life.
coming out of a
I
suitcase,
thought there
like
was a bomb. I thought he was gonna like open it up and there'd be guns. I had
no,
all bad thoughts going through my head.
and
Nope, it was food.
And that was like a 1980s Diane Hurley suitcase. That wasn't a.
Oh, that was the one where the wheels don't work.
I don't even think it had wheels. That
Yeah, it
was
might
like the
not. You just
old
had to drag it.
Samsonite, just had the hard plastic handle, and like it was almost like a giant briefcase.
Yeah. And he tried to put it on Everest. That was so stupid.
I think it was you, right? You ended up sitting next to him, didn't you?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I was in a single ride, and he's like, "No, he's going with you." So then I had to wait, and he had to pull the suitcase out. He's putting the suitcase in the
And now he's mad at you for taking the suitcase's seat.
yeah. He wasn't going to be able to put the harness over it either.
Yeah, it would have flown out at some
Like,
point.
shit. I'm like, what? Like, I almost just wanted to just say go. I'm going to wait because I don't know what's going on with this guy.
Yeah, I'd rather see this play out.
Yeah.
Let's get a little space between me and suitcase guy here. Yeah, that's incredible. Yeah, you should bring a suitcase full of food to the parks.
Just bring a suitcase. You know what Susie thought too?
What's that?
Is making our own charcuterie.
That's not a bad play.
She bought one at Primo Piatto and brought it back to the adult pool when we were hanging out with Hippie Guy and his wife. It was really good. And it was for $9. It had some nice, really fresh blue cheese, had a lot of good meat, some crackers. It was well worth the $9, but
Yeah.
we can put one together.
Yeah, because you can get some, like a thing of pepperoni, a couple things of cheese, some crackers. You're
Yeah,
good
and
to
if
go.
you want to do some cabagol, you only need a quarter pound of everything. It's going to be a
Right.
pain for the guy who's slicing it, but you can put together, a cheese board that you bring down 2 or 3 cheese boards for $30.
Yeah. I would recommend. I know you don't go to this place, but if you're gonna put together a charcuterie board to bring with you, go to Aldi. They have a ton of like really good cheeses, and they're super cheap.
Really?
Yes,
Got one down the street from me, so
I know. I drive by it with you when I'm down there. I recommend that for doing a charcuterie board. They even have like little pieces of salami. They have like a spicy one, like little bags of them and stuff. It's the best place to put together a charcuterie board.
really?
Yes, bar none.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind.
100% recommend that. I mean, another thing that you're not gonna do, but I would probably do, buy a couple things of ice cream, hot fudge, some whipped cream for the late night snacks in the room. You make your own ice cream sundaes instead of spending $18 on an ice cream sundae somewhere.
Okay.
Like, that's a huge
That's gonna
saver.
be your late night snack, yep.
You can get a couple half gallons for $6 or whatever, and then a thing of
Mhm.
whipped cream and chocolate sauce. It's not gonna cost you anything, and that'll last you a whole trip. Yeah, there's a ton because that's the biggest thing, having the full-size refrigerator, bringing
Yeah, it's huge.
that useful freezer into the
Yeah.
equation. The studios are nice, don't get me wrong, like, the little mini fridge is good job for leftovers or
Yes.
sodas or beers or water. It's great for that.
It
But
serves
having
its purpose. Trust me, it does. I love the
Oh, it's
studios.
perfect. Yeah, it's perfect. But having a full-size refrigerator where you could throw frozen chicken nuggets, frozen french fries for that last-minute meal, a thing of Uncrustables, frozen waffles, ice cream, and then you still have all the room for your beers and your waters and your soda and whatever other food you wanna bring.
Well, think about it too. Like you were talking about the peanut butter sandwiches.
Mhm.
You make a couple of those and throw them in your backpack. Now, when you're jonesing, you just munch on that instead of going and spending $25 on a
Right.
quick service burger.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think it's a healthy option. It's a cheaper option. But like you said, having that refrigerator, it's more conducive for the way that we do our Disney vacations.
Well, you almost wanna take advantage of it because you're spending the points on it too.
Correct. Yeah, if you're going rope drop to sundown, you don't need to stay in a one bedroom.
No. No, it's nice having that. Well, you could do anything. If you were going if you go in December in a one bedroom, I mean, you
Yeah,
could make a soup,
yeah. We're gonna be
for
in
a
that with my mother-in-law, so
cooler
there's
night
a
or
million
something like
different things
that.
we could do. Although I definitely want to do the Topolinos, and we're gonna do the dining package because she wants to. Primarily, the reason that she's coming down is we've always wanted to take her to the candlelight processional,
Oh, perfect.
so we'll have to do We'll have to do a dining package, but we'll do one dining package and then the other night just cook, like you said.
Yeah.
Bring the small Christmas tree up, put that up.
I mean, you make a chili or something. Let it sit on the stove while you're hanging out in the room watching Christmas movies.
We're a mess, aren't we?
It's the best way to do it.
Everybody's talking about Epic Universe, and we're talking about making chili in our hotel room. We're so different, aren't we?
Yeah. Now, would you avoid fish because of the smell? You don't want like everything to smell in the hotel room.
Not necessarily. I don't know. Maybe because my house is bigger, but when I cook fish, it doesn't reek in here. But
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I wonder how good the ventilation system is.
Well, we're probably going to find out here in a few days, aren't we?
Yeah, I guess so. When you're searing those filet mignons in your cast iron with some onions and garlic and shaved steak sandwiches. Yeah, the more I think about it with the one bedrooms, though, I think the owner's locker makes a lot of sense because you could.
I agree with you.
You could throw a crock pot in your owner's locker or something, or
Yeah.
an instant pot. Use that in there. Cast iron, like I said. Some of those things like cooking spray, things that you have to buy for one-off that you're not going to bring home with you. Spices, things like that.
Yep. Exactly. Yep.
Like you'll bring them and bring them back. If you salt, pepper, garlic powder, that kind of stuff, you'll just take the ones you have and you'll bring them back home. But if I'm going, I have to buy a bottle of cooking spray. I have to buy a small bottle of olive oil. I have to buy
and then you just
salt and pepper
it.
shaker, and I'm just going to get rid of them. But if you have the owner's locker, you can save all that stuff. Use it for
great service.
Yeah, that kind of makes it well worth it. Throw the sunscreen in there, that kind of stuff that you're buying every trip, you know.
Exactly.
This might be a good trip to invest in that.
I have to fart around on that website. I haven't been out there in a while.
Yeah, I got to look at it too.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to talk about here? Should we bring things home?
We can bring things home. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube at DVC Addicts. Email the show info@addictedtodvc.com and join our Facebook group, DVC Addicts. For my cousin and co-host Gary in Rhode Island, I'm Mike in Florida. Thanks for listening. Talk again next week.
Thank you for listening to the Addicted to DVC podcast with Mike and Gary. We want to hear from you. Email us at info@addictedtodvc.com and follow us on all socials at DVC Addicts. We appreciate you being a part of our DVC community, and we'll see you again on our next episode. Thanks again for listening, and welcome home.